Hello, did you know my book, The Teen LGBT, is now available to pre-order in this lovely little paperback? The link is in the description box. Charbon and I are also touring the UK in August to talk about the book, meet lots of you, sign some books, answer questions, all that lovely stuff. We're currently definitely going to be in Leeds, Birmingham and Bristol, but there's going to be more dates added very soon. Go click the link in the description box to also go check that out and buy tickets if you want to come join. Thank you very much, and now you may watch the video. Yay! Hey Spuds, it's Jamie. Welcome back to another video, first on the channel. I don't know, but welcome either way. I'm very glad to have you here, and today is something I have never done before, and I'm really quite worried about doing. But yes, it's been something I've wanted to look into for a while, and I have been curious, and it's kind of popped up as a topic. There's been some posts of this type for a while that have come up in other videos, but I've never done a dedicated video on the topic of
alpha males.
These are videos like TikToks and written posts from the men who are alpha, the alpha men. Alpha is the first letter of the Greek alphabet, and it's often used for people. Alphabet. Oh, that's cute. I did realize that before. That is not my first realization of that. I just want to point out. But also people that are dominant. However, when you look at software, alpha is actually an underdeveloped version of something with a lot of bugs and a lot of things that need to be fixed. Like alpha testing is about finding and fixing problems. I find it funny when guys are like,
yeah, I'm an alpha male.
And I'm like, oh, so you're like the underdeveloped buggy version that needs some fixes. Okay, sure. Honestly, I don't even want to click on the first post. Are we ready? Let's just do it. Come on, let's go. Women should bow to men when greeting them. Unless married, of course. What, and then they only need to bow to their husband? Biblical masculinity. No. 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 This is just a big no.
When a woman is being bratty, men's most common reaction is, oh, I'm sorry, or to get nervous.
I feel like when he says when a woman is being bratty, they're probably not being bratty and potentially deserve an apology. I'm not saying that everybody's always right when they act out or they get upset, but like when people have feelings, we should still be recognizing why they're having those feelings and have a discussion about that. And if we have been the cause of those negative feelings, potentially apologize.
With me, it's to lean the into it. One of my go-to lines is, aw, you having a tantrum?
What, so treating a woman like a toddler? That's nice.
Has this worked on all the other beta boys you've dated? It's not gonna work here. Doing things like that shows that you're different. And I know a lot of guys who are white knighting and
be different, be mean, don't care about her feelings, just call her a toddler having a tantrum, ha.
I'm scared to hurt girls' feelings. You're gonna be like, oh, that's rude. Well, she's being rude too. I'm just matching that energy.
Like I just got the biggest ick of my life. This may happen multiple times throughout this video. I'm sure there is going to be like the peak worst alpha male example in this potential. I mean, not ever, but amongst this lot. I don't know which one that will be yet. I'm just matching that energy. Okay, woman is upset. Clearly, you don't know why. Just calling her a brat, right? And then instead of having a conversation about it and being like, why are you upset, and learning more about it and potentially taking accountability if you have been the cause of that upset, no, you just say that she's having a tantrum. And when he says match that energy, does he then proceed to act bratty and have a tantrum? That's not how adults communicate. It doesn't really get very far. This attitude is bleh and rude to me.
Stop looking at women. Like, do not even look. And you have to understand, I know this sounds very silly.
It does sound very silly.
That's what women want you to do. They receive a ton of joy and pleasure and validation through knowing they're getting attention, your attention, men's attention.
I don't think this guy has ever been wolf whistled in his life or spoken to a woman about what it feels like to be catcalled on the street or something.
So don't give them that fucking attention. What I'm saying is by you continuously looking, you're turning yourself into a simp. You're subconsciously pedestalizing them, putting them on some throne.
He's barely looking at the camera. Is the camera a woman?
And you actually subconsciously feel worse about yourself.
Okay, I said that, and then for like the last 2 seconds he was looking at the camera, but for a lot of that he was not looking at the camera. You feel worse about yourself when you look at women. Don't look at women. What kind of advice is that? I feel like that's trying to demonize women and be like, they feed off of your eyeballs. Do not look at them. Do not give them your power. Yes, how dare men look at women. Yes, how dare men look at women when it's not respectful and they catcall and it's kind of that more leery, uncomfortable looking. But if there's a mutual looking and you can like interact with women in a typical, you know, if there is a woman in a shop or whatever, or you have to ask somebody a question, or I don't know, just interact with people generally in your life and they are a woman, what you're going to do, not look at them because you think that looking at them gives them power or takes away from your power. You feel worse about yourself. So you turn yourself into a simp simply by looking at women. This is very fascinating. I want to make a joke about like, this does not sound very straight. Oh, I don't want to look at women. I can't even look at them. Oh my God.
I just want to address one thing. A few of you guys said we were bringing up the being assaulted and stuff, being worried walking home at night. Actually, men are more likely to be victims of violent crime.
Wait a second. Has this guy literally just been having a conversation with women who have said that they fear walking home at night because in case that they are attacked by men, and instead of just going, yeah, men need to do better and it's not fair that women constantly feel in danger and at risk when doing things as simple as walking home, he's just gone, hold on a second, wait, let me make this about men.
Violent crime, probably
Who's more likely to commit
but
violent
we're talking,
crime?
Yeah,
It doesn't.
facts.
That doesn't.
But also, I was.
Men are still the
The
victims
gender
of it as well.
of the perpetrator of someone who has victimized you doesn't undo the fact that you've just been victimized.
Yeah.
So it's kind of
You're right.
irrelevant.
But his point was irrelevant because they were talking about women being the victim of violent crimes simply for the fact of being women and doing nothing more than walking home. Women should not be or feel vulnerable just because they are in a public space. That's the problem. Like, men don't walk around constantly in fear of being attacked. Men don't walk home at night fearful about whether what they're wearing or how dark it is or whether they're alone or not is going to make them vulnerable more so to an attack from a man. The discussion was women's vulnerability and the rate that women are attacked by men. He was like, hold on a second.
Now, how can I make this conversation victimize men?
I've just done a quick Google and the difference in percentage is men were more likely to be the victims of violent crime than women, 2.2% compared to 1.6%, so it's 0.6%. However, it's argued that this likely underestimated the number of women who were victims. But at the same time, that was not the point of the conversation. The point of the conversation was women being attacked by men. Ratatouille, funny mouse, but so much to think about. Hustlers must watch. I feel like he was trying to go for a haiku and failed. Hustlers must watch. I don't understand this. What are they talking about? What, to be successful, pull a man by the hair? Why Ratatouille? No, I'm very lost. Sorry, not sorry.
Makeup is the most accepted lie in society.
Makeup is the most accepted lie in society. Why are some men so hung up on the fact that some women wear makeup? And they're like, I've been lied to, the makeup. And it's like, who gives a shit? Who gives a shit?
So
No, I don't-
reshaping your body and like working out and giving yourself tone muscles, that's also changing your appearance.
Conflating exercising and getting fit to makeup, something that can be put on and removed.
Couldn't you compare your beard to makeup since it hides your jawline?
Isn't that often the comparison? I don't really agree with the exercising comparison. I don't think that's the best comparison to bring up, but the beards are often said to be, if we're talking about like stereotypically and like women wearing makeup and like cis het men not wearing makeup and blah blah blah, then beards are the makeup for men. People also wear contacts instead of glasses. People sometimes choose to wear glasses even when they don't need a prescription lens. People have different hairstyles. Some people, mostly men, wear hairpieces because they have gone bald. There are many things that many different people do of different genders that alter their appearance either more permanently or temporarily or whatever. But for some reason, some like cis straight men who are like, I'm alpha, typically, get very hung up on the whole makeup thing.
So you're comparing a beard to makeup?
Not directly. I'm not saying they're the same thing. I'm just saying you probably having that beard makes you a little bit more flattering looking in the same way that makeup might make a woman look more flattering.
I sort of see what you're saying.
He totally sees what she's saying. He just doesn't want to admit it.
Certainly, some men, the beard can help shape the jawline a bit. You know, you said that men lie about their height on dating apps, and I said, well, I think women lie more, and that's through makeup and through filters.
Based on how he just described how that conversation started, he made it some competition to be like,
No, well, women lie more than men. Women are not as good as men. Women are worse than men.
like that's just his whole vibe in this video, because he was like, you said that men lie in the dating apps, like often lie about their height, which is very true. Men often lie about their height on dating apps. And his response was to say, well, women lie more because of makeup and filters. I think a lot of people, regardless of gender, use filters. Also, a lot of people, regardless of gender, use makeup of some form, or even just like tinted moisturizer, a little bit of lip gloss, whatever, blush. Lots of people use lots of different things, and for many of them you probably wouldn't even notice they've used something. And as I said before, there are many different things that many different people do of different genders, not just women, to alter their appearance, often in a temporary manner that can be removed and put back on. I feel like this being his response to a conversation about men lying on dating apps about their height, and then suddenly being like,
Well, women lie more.
the biggest lie is women's makeup. A bit bizarre. Very bizarre.
3 things alpha males never say to women. If you think you're an alpha male or you want to be an alpha male, you should never say these to a woman. Number 1, when can I see you?
When can I see you? Okay, I was really hoping that this might be a bit of like a troll, and it was going to turn into a like, don't say these disrespectful things to women, you know? But when will I see you? Let's see how it goes.
Guys, you should never just be available every time. You need to be a busy man. She needs to be trying to find out when you're available, right? You being available anytime she wants is putting you in a weaker position, and alpha males do not accept a weaker position.
There's a lot of rules. Just from the few videos I've seen and stuff, that just, it feels like there's a lot to think about when you're alpha male. And it's all about like, I must appear strongest and not weak. And by doing that, no emotions, no altering my appearance, no beard transplants. People also get beard transplants. Sorry, that just sprung to me from the other conversation. But don't be available. This is such bad advice.
Number 2, can I get another chance? Begging for another chance from a girl is weak. It shows that you don't have a lot of options, right? Do not accept that position. If a girl doesn't like you, bye-bye.
I do agree with that. If a girl doesn't like you, leave it at that. If someone is not interested in you and has said no, leave it. I don't fully disagree with that point, but I think we have very different reasons for saying that. I think mine is very much like be respectful to the other person's space and wishes and leave them be. Whereas I feel like he's coming from the perspective of
Alpha men don't beg. Alpha men do not appear weak, and it appears weak.
but this could also translate into something more worrying, which he's not said, the like not apologizing and not admitting when you're wrong, because that may also be seen as a weakness. So like saying, can I have another chance, could also in his context be synonymous with apologizing and admitting to a wrongdoing. But I do agree that if somebody is not interested in you, you should leave them be. Absolutely.
And number 3, guys, can I be your boyfriend? Asking a girl to be in a relationship with her is not alpha. Women should be fighting, beating down your door to trying to be your girlfriend. Those are 3 things you should never say to women.
Hold on. Does that mean it's very like alpha male to be asked out by the girl? So if a woman says, I want to be your girlfriend, that's okay. When it comes to like proposals, I feel like the whole alpha stance is like the woman must never propose. It's a man's job. So this feels a little contradictory to that. I think I disagree with all of his reasoning, but the middle point of only pursue people who are interested in you and leave people be when they're not, I do agree with, but we have very different reasoning for getting to that conclusion, I feel. I believe civilization itself is a byproduct of the subjugation of female sexuality. Well, that's a sentence. When they freely choose their sexual partners, it's always the worst choice for civilization. What evidence does this person have? Where has this come from? But when a man can prove his worth and trade with other men for access to females, civilization arises. What did I just read? What is this? This is from an account called The Best Opinions. This is not even a good opinion, let alone the best opinion. No. Why is it that so many men who are like,
I'm alpha alpha. I'm straight. Yeah, look at me. So strong, not weak at all.
Actually, so many things that they say, it's just like, you hate women, don't you? And I don't get how you can hate women. There was more to that sentence, but also I don't understand how you can just hate an entire group of people like that. No, just baffling, just awful opinion. No, why did I make this video? I knew I would hate making this video.
My girlfriend just broke up with me. How should I deal with it, and what should I do?
Completely go no contact with her. I don't mean block her on Facebook or Instagram. I would not look at her stories. I would not reach out to her friends, and I would not unfriend her on anything. Go become the best man you can be and work really hard, and in a few years you'll look up and she'll probably be calling you back. I've never had a situation in my life where a girl and I broke up and she didn't call me back. Never.
I mean, theoretically, let's forget the reasonings for now. If somebody breaks up with you, I do agree with the context of like step back and give them space and don't like pester them with contact and be like constantly looking at what they're doing, because it's both a bit uncomfortable if somebody wants space from you and has just broken up with you and doesn't want to be in a relationship with you anymore, but it also prevents you from moving on. It is a good idea to create that barrier of space, particularly if there's no kind of amicability of we're not a couple, but let's be friends and stay in contact. Okay, I'm sorry, what kind of logic is this? You're trying to be all like alpha male and all of this stuff, but actually what you're doing is specifically living your life in a very rigid kind of way and doing specific things to try and win back someone that broke up with you potentially years ago. You should be going out and doing things for you and not being like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go and make money or go to the gym or do this thing and I'm gonna completely blank her, but not block her, just blank her and all of her friends and everything, and then she'll want me back. And I'm gonna do all of this for her attention. You're literally just doing all of this behavior and all of these things for the attention of somebody that doesn't want to be in a relationship with you anymore. Which, this is very contradictory. So like alpha male breakup strategy, there seems to be a lot of disagreement in the alpha male camp, because the other guy was like, don't pursue someone who's not interested in being with you. Whereas this guy is very much saying like, this is a implicit passive pursuing. It's not breaking that boundary of if somebody's not interested, leave them be, because they are being left be. But it very much feels like everything he's advised someone to do is for them to do all of this stuff with an intention to win back the person who broke up with them and or get their attention. Somebody breaks up with you, just deal with it. You are now broken up. If they happen to contact you again in the future, fine. But I don't feel like it's good advice to say, like, basically go out and live your life in this specific way so that they will reach out and contact you. I was at the cafe waiting for my hot black coffee when a woman stopped me to chat. The coffee must be hot. The coffee must be black. The coffee must be coffee. My hot black coffee. Because men don't drink milk. It turned out she was a world-renowned linguist who said she recognized me by my coffee order and broad shoulders. This did not happen, did it? She told me there's a growing consensus within her profession that alpha male is the most beautiful pairing of words in the English language. Is this person trolling, or have they made this up to be dead serious that just alpha males are the best? She doesn't agree with me on every issue. I'm sure she doesn't, this imaginary woman. But she was deeply appreciative of the work I'm doing to bring those beautiful words to the forefront of American society. She insisted on paying for my coffee as a token of her gratitude and suggested we meet over dinner in the future. I accepted the coffee but declined the date. It's not very alpha of you to let the woman pay. Even a woman in academia would be insufficiently stimulating for an alpha male of my caliber. I think he made up this entire scenario just to say, I think I'm too good for smart women. Okay, the caliber of my alpha male is so high that only other alpha men are good enough for me. Men are generally more law-abiding than women. Women have the feeling that since they didn't make the rules have nothing to do with them. Fewer than 4% of the total prison population are held in women's prisons. I think this is a very bizarre post, but thank you for admitting that women have historically and still are very much ignored when it comes to high-level decision-making within society, and that is absolutely something that needs to change. Yes, women should be more involved. There should be more equality in the number of women who are represented within politics and lawmaking and all of these positions that have so historically been held by old, cis, straight, white men. Normal men don't feel comfortable in churches for the same reason they don't want to linger in the women's clothing section at a store. It feels overly feminine. My question would be, under what context would a man like this be lingering in the women's clothing section at the store? Unless shopping for or with somebody who likes to shop in that section. Unless he likes to shop in that section but is struggling to admit that about himself, and that's okay. We all go on our own journeys. I'm sure he'll get there one day. But what is it with church? I'm not religious. I would never want to personally go to church, but not because I see it as feminine. How is that feminine? I don't understand this. Honestly, I feel like at this point, quote unquote, like alpha men are just, I know that none of it is consistent.
Are you interested in therapy?
Minimal interested.
Thank God. I'm telling you, the weakest thing a man could ever do is change. Because the second you change, you've admitted you're wrong. Women don't admit they're wrong.
That's right.
So why should you? You think I want to talk about being as a kid once a week? No thanks, man. No thanks. I'm good. I'm fine. I think I'm good on therapy. Thank you very much. Instead, why don't you just go take what happened to you, do it to someone else until you feel better? It's that simple.
He's trolling, right? Hold on, I'm gonna Google. I'm gonna go with this guy being a troll. You know, like the guy who was saying really bizarre stuff about like children's beauty pageants in a TikTok I did recently to trick right-wing Americans into seeing what they really care about. Is it being homophobic or is it protecting kids? I feel like this is similar because he's saying all this stuff and this guy is just agreeing with him.
That's just gazillion-dollar advice.
Yeah, and I just gave it to you for free.
Did that other guy actually just agree with the fact that it's weak for men to change, men should not get therapy, and traumatic events that men experienced in their lives, they shouldn't deal with it or process it or have therapy, they should just do it to other people until they feel better? I'm pretty sure he just agreed with that. Wow.
If I don't know you, I owe you absolutely nothing. Do you know what the difference is? Let me speak. I owe you absolutely nothing as a man who doesn't know you, right? Of course. So what happens is the simp culture within the Western world has become a norm. Yeah. So men will say, okay, cool. And this is why I speak to men. Men, I'm going to speak to you, right? Because if you are out here with a lot of money, you may have a lot of money. Stop giving pretty women stop giving pretty women attention. Because what happens is you will lose your resources, you will lose your money, you will lose your time. And what will happen is they will take your time, effort, resources, all the things that you built up, and they'll be on to the next.
To me, that just sounds like he got really burnt and hurt in a relationship in the past. Not everybody is going to be like that. And I feel like it's potentially very sad and lonely to close yourself off like that. I totally appreciate if there are trust issues going on, but like that's more something to therapy would be a great idea. Big advocate of therapy. Talking it through with somebody, even if it's a friend, dealing with that and the fact that that was in the past and with somebody else. And you can't go into every new interaction or relationship thinking that they're gonna behave like the past one that hurt you, because that's not healthy. And I think it would lead to potentially being relatively lonely and never being able to trust somebody else, and like constantly thinking that somebody is just there to take things from you. And that feels like it's unhealthy to just internalize and go, right, I'm not gonna pay attention to women. What does that mean? Just be, I mean, if you're like a straight guy, just like would never be with somebody ever again, just in case. I don't think that sounds like the healthiest way of processing things. I wouldn't advise that. I would not take that advice either. What an interesting take. Like,
women are just there to take your money.
Women anyways, dude. It's not even about women.
What a nice start.
Women are secondary. This is the most, okay, so this is the most important thing you gotta understand. Women, like finances, like fitness, like happiness, like anything else, are secondary to your primary purpose as a man. Your primary purpose as a man is to level up.
Sorry, my instant thought was just Mario. Primary focus as a man should be to find that mushroom.
And if you will focus on leveling up first, everything else will come. The money, the finances, the fitness, everything else. If you are in that frame of mind, like my job is to make this thing that I have control over the most powerful, badass version of itself. This avatar that I have in this video game we call life. Like, this is the most important thing you can do, and you got 20 to 30 to do that. Now, if you decide to get hitched up and start having kids, yeah, you can work your way through it. Yeah, you can come out in your 30s and 40s and have a great relationship still. Some people pull it off. It's pretty unlikely.
What does he mean by level up and like everything else will come? What constitutes leveling up in this guy's head? And then it's like,
yeah, if you have kids, you can come through that.
You can come through that? As if having kids is just always a burden for men specifically.
Statistically speaking, the stats are against you. And what you're going to find is that most men are in some state of quiet desperation. They got hitched up, they added some kids, they got a dead-end job. Now they don't have a lot of options. They don't have a lot of ways to be flexible or move or pivot or go towards something now they see what they're finally passionate about by the time they're 30. They're stuck paying a mortgage. They're stuck feeding mouths.
Why is he talking as if life is over when you're 30?
They're stuck taking care of a wife. Yes, you got to do that if you're in that set of circumstances. Is that ideal? I'm telling you right now, young men, I'm telling you right now, it is not the ideal situation. Take your 20 to 30 and focus on yourself and be the best, most badass, biggest, fastest version of yourself, and everything else will start stacking up for you.
Why is he describing men like be the fastest, biggest, badassest version of yourself? Woohoo, level up. Yes, get that shiny gem at the end of the Crash Bandicoot level. It feels like there are some similar like underlying attitudes as the video before of just this women will ruin your life. Women will hold you back. And then this one threw in like kids as well. They're going to take things from you. It's just interesting. I'm fascinated and also uncomfortable.
You do not have to accept her rejection.
Yes, you do. If somebody rejects you, if somebody is not interested, if somebody does not want to date you, you accept that. This also goes against other alpha male videos that we have seen.
I'm a professional dating coach.
No.
Teach guys how to understand the female mind. Now, if you're one of the people that haven't applied anything in my course or my videos or anything like that, this video is not for you. This is an advanced technique. This is for the people that have the course, have my videos, are applying it, seeing results, and eventually I'm going to put this in the course. I just don't have the time right now, so I'm releasing it now. You don't have to accept her rejection. Now, here's an example. I was talking to a girl, and she said, oh, you know, I'm not really interested. And I, instead of just going, okay, and then just turning away, I did this. Why would you not be interested in me? I'm the best.
I think something just died inside me.
Absolutely the best. And she's like, oh, how? I'm like, well, you'd have to come over to my house to find out. And you'd also have to be okay with kink, and you'd also have to be okay with my mastery of the ropes and the fact I have multiple women. And actually, maybe not. Maybe you wouldn't be the best for me. And now I did turn it around at the end, but I could have left that part out and still got her to start bantering back and forth, and she did. She started going back and forth with me, and I started building attraction in that because now I had sidestepped her rejection. Granted, keep in mind, I didn't force it. I didn't say, no, I just played into her little game. I knew she was playing with me a little bit or just kind of disengaging, and I gave her a little bit of fun. You want to know what I did with her later?
No, that was the last one, and I'm so glad.
Here's my dating advice as a professional dating coach for men to understand the female mind. If she rejects you, don't accept it. Find a loophole in not forcing your way through that rejection and sidestep it instead and say some quite uncomfortable things.
Yay. Well, that was the last one for this video. Am I glad I made this? I have no idea. Please go let me know what you thought down below. Is this content that you have come across on the internet? I've come across some things that are like this, but definitely having it all in one go, I'm like, wow, this is intense. I would never want to be, never aspire to be, and never wish to be an alpha male or viewed as an alpha male. No, thank you. I'm very happy being a man who does not hate women and views women as equal in society. Yay. Okay, just as a reminder, my book is available in paperback. I'm still feeling very distracted by the content of this video, but if you want to go get a copy of the book or you want to come see Sharp and I on tour in the UK in August, then go click those links in the description box. And as always, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Much love. Bye.